G'day all, it's the Lee Hunter here. How's it going? So, I've got my hands on Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Been playing it since release. I've had a total of 4 hours playing. This is going to be a quick overview. Should you buy it at this stage? I'm going to save a lot of the time for a lot of you. The answer, in short, is no. Do not buy it if you don't believe you need it. Save your money for another game, for example, Cyberpunk. The game has a stereotypical Call of Duty fashion non-playable at beginning, and the reason why I say that is it is in most cases non-playable. A lot of PS5 players, it's crashing completely, and some players are being able to play it, but they're losing frame rate, and so far only PC players seem to be having relatively no struggles, but that's only on a high-end PC though. On low-end PCs, people are struggling left, right, and center. In saying that, it is early stages and the game has a long way to go. So multiplayer is really where this game kind of shines. I haven't been able to play the campaign yet as it keeps crashing on my Xbox. But multiplayer is at the moment the go-to. So in multiplayer, there's only a handful of guns. There's not as many as, say, in Modern Warfare. The gameplay is nowhere near as refined and as fine-tuned and as complicated as Modern Warfare either. It's more of an arcade-style gameplay, just like the original Black Ops was. So guns don't sound quite realistic. They very flat traveling. They, at the moment, are a little bit broken. The 1911 is a big one. I find that actually does more damage than long distance, but that's just me, I guess. The best guns in the game are your starters, which I think is not intentional. You do have the Barrett, and the Barrett is really good, but it's only really good in a certain game mode called Dirty Bomb. And Dirty Bomb is a new game type that is brought into Cold War, which is similar to Warzone in the sense that you have multiple groups of teams of 4 in each side. It's on large scale map. There are vehicles in it. There's snowmobiles, there's motorbikes, and there's even tanks. You also do get uh, kills. No, I wouldn't call them kill streaks, but they're drops, just like you do in Warzone, where you have UAVs and you have strafe runs and stuff like that. You do get that in this game as well. So you get chopper gunners and you get UAVs, you get counter UAVs, and you get all those sorts of abilities, and you get them in drops in the throughout the map. The map also is sedimented around multiple different points where you basically take a dirty bomb and you as a team then unload all your uranium to it and then you set it off, and basically that's how you win the game, is you keep setting off these dirty bombs, which is basically nuclear bombs. Not crazy nuclear warhead style, but they're just basically bombs that release toxic radiation across the map, and it helps you take points throughout the map. You also have armor in this game, so you have crazy amount of health. This is where another part of the game is a little bit broken, I think, especially with the headshotting. Snipers in this work well, but then don't work well. There's a little bit of inconsistency with that, and I think that's got to do with the way the armor works. You can down an enemy without breaking their armor if you do headshots, which I do like that aspect. Versus, say, Modern Warfare, where you shoot them in the head and somehow breaks their armor, which they don't have armor on their face, do they? It's in their chest. So that was always a bit weird in Modern Warfare, but I do like that about this in this game. Uh, the vehicle driving is terrible, absolutely terrible. It's you don't use your on a controller. You don't use your right trigger and your left trigger to go and brake. You use the left toggle and use the right toggle to steer. It's more like Star Wars Squadron style, like aircraft style driving. I do not like that. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. I'm not too sure whether you can change those settings. I'm pretty sure you can, but yeah, it's a real pain in the ass. Another thing I like to highlight in this game is the first Call of Duty and one of the first Xbox friendly games, well, console friendly games, I should say, not just Xbox, but console friendly games where you can actually adjust the graphics in the menus. So you get given a couple of different options. For example, your brightness and your adjuster box to fit the TV. But you also have motion blurs you can turn off and on. You have ADS movement speed, so when you're aiming down sight, how fast you move, and and things like that, which help tweak your performance of your console or PC. But we're going to focus mainly on console because that's what I use. So you can adjust that. You can adjust the field of view, which basically either narrows and focuses in or widens it out to 120 frames field of view. By doing that, though, however, you do decrease your console's performance. I have an Xbox One S, and it performs quite well with the game. It does crash every now and then, but it does okay, and I'm quite surprised that I can comfortably sit at 95 frames for the field of view settings without going too dropping in the frame rate. And also, if I go too high, it actually makes me sick. I don't know whether that's a TV thing or whether that's a resolution thing, but it just really hurts my eyes and it really makes me feel ill. But sitting on 95, it's quite fine, and I don't have any of those issues. So going back to the original guns are actually better than your upgraded guns. I don't think that was intentional, but the XM4, which is basically an M4, I think that's one of the best guns in the game, next to the MP5. The MP5 and the M4 dominate the game, and then you have your marksmans like the M16 or the AUG, which for some reason the AUG is a marksman rifle as well, which is really weird because in real life the AUG is an assault rifle. Yeah, you can get marksman variants, but they're not three burst. I've never seen a three burst AUG, so they're doing some I guess they're doing their own little creative ideas there, but it works really well. It's a really good marksman rifle. The M14 and sorry, the M16 and the AUG are the two best marksman rifles, hands down, and they're actually better than the sniper, besides the Barrett, but we'll get back to that later. So in this game, if you want to do close quarters, the best gun to use is the MP5. You have shotguns, but they're really slow in the pumping action, and you're gonna get killed before you can get your second shot off them most of the time, unless you have certain attachments on it which will increase its rate of fire. So MP5's you go to a close quarters next to a knife. Knife's really good in this game because you got high health in standard multiplayer. You can actually get quite close to someone and bring the fight to them and then knife them, and you can wipe out a whole team by doing that. You also want to choose for medium to long range, I believe, either a marksman rifle or the XM4 or an AK. The AK's got high damage rate, but the recoil can be a little bit more unforgiving. With the MX4, although the trade-off is slightly less damage, but because you got a high rate of fire, it kind of cancels it out, and you end up dropping players pretty quickly. Now, going back to other different guns, we also have the 1911, which is broken at the moment. It kills people so quick, and long distance, it does not lose its power. In fact, I've come across it does more damage over longer distance. I don't think this is an intentional thing, but it is at the moment. Zombies is probably the next strong point on this game. I really love the zombie maps. Map. I don't play Dead Ops Arcade. I find that crap. I don't know why they brought it back in. No one really likes it. Well, I personally don't like it. I don't know anyone that does. But the standard map is the original map from World at War, where you start off inside an old ruined building and the Nazi zombies try and break in. Although this is a little bit different. It's a lot bigger of a map and it's quite well laid out. You can train really well. You start off on the outside and then eventually you start working your way inside and then you start working on your way on the other side of the building. Then you work your way into the electrical down below. Once you unlock the electrical down below, it allows you to go unlock a portal, which then allows you to get into your pack a punch. I also really love the ability that you can upgrade all your different perks, gun abilities, so you can do more damage with SMGs, do more damage with assault rifles. You also upgrade your guns in game as well, so you level them up while you're shooting zombies. So then that way you can go to multiplayer and take all those attachments that you unlock just by killing zombies. It's nice and easy. I haven't played the multiplayer side of it as it does crash a lot. Split screen, although the function's there, it doesn't let you. It says that you have to basically exit split screening and it doesn't support it. I really want Activision to fix that. That is something that really annoys me. The campaign, I haven't had the chance to be able to play it. Every time I start it, the console will crash. This is a known issue. Some people have been able to play it, some people aren't. I unfortunately am one of the ones that can't. But when I do, I will then play it in its full extent. I will release the footage as I'm playing it, and I'll also at the end do a final review after I've done many hours on the campaign and many hours on the multiplayer. And I'll basically give my overall thoughts at the game at the stage, and then when the game's coming to its end next year, when the next Call of Duty comes out, I'll also give my closing thoughts. But at this stage, I urge you to only buy it if all your friends are getting it and you want to play with them. It's just too broken and it takes a long time to get it to work. It took a lot of settings fiddling around. Basically, I can't join up with certain people. It's particularly PlayStation players. If I join a PlayStation player, it crashes. And even on multiplayer, I see PS5 players struggle hard on the frame rates and the loading. I'm reacting faster than they are, and then PC players are reacting even faster, and the Xbox Series X players are reacting faster, and the PS4 players are reacting about the same level I am. So it's it's a bit chop change, but PC Master Race they're in the lead on this one. But hopefully in the future, within maybe a week, I reckon it will change. I reckon an update will happen to optimize it and fix a lot of these kinks. A known issue. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed my little video on whether you should buy it or not. But at the end of the day, this is my opinion. Other people have different opinions as they have different experiences. It's just that simple. It's a good game, has potential to grow, and I can't wait to see how this game improves over time. Thank you.